Warming up. I have.
Okay, we're able to okay.
So yeah, disclaimer: if you are watching right now, and if you are watching in the future, this is a recorded live stream. Please feel free to jump forward in time to when the show officially starts. If you're watching right now, we are prepping for the start of the show. Please wait a few minutes while we manually share our links.
Yeah, we do that to get people to join. Because a live stream is more fun with people.
Mhm.
So check in my feed if our own video is appearing.
Okay, I can see it.
Yarsh. And now I can go back to tagging you in said post because that problem has just mysteriously gone away.
Yeah, but now I can't like leave emojis. Normally, diba, I'd shoot a few emojis to test if the feed's running.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can't.
Facebook don't like you to do that.
Very odd.
This is the sound of us typing as we spam our personal networks to see if we can get people to join. And because of the weirdness of social media notifications, there's a very big chance that some people like will see the thing, see the reminder, but like much
Expect
later.
something else or
Yeah, or like
see it at a later point in
yeah,
time.
exactly. Like because things get consumed by the social media ether and are published out of sequence or
Mm-mm.
shown at different times.
The algorithm.
Algorithm. And I am in tweeting.
Okay, yeah, it's running on YouTube and Facebook. If you are watching right now, we can't tell until you send in a comment. So please do shoot us comments, whether it's on YouTube or Facebook, so we know you are there.
Otherwise, all the usual like, subscribe, share the video.
Offer your firstborn.
I don't want firstborn kids.
Doesn't mean we'll say yes.
You just want the offer.
Oh, no, no, no. No, 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 no.
I don't know where that was gonna go. He doesn't have a name yet.
Mm-mm. I'm leaning towards one of them, but I feel it's too long.
Yes, it is. I've heard you chant it. It's quite long. Whoa, it totally changed our coloring. See, it got warmer. Pig scale.
Yeah, powers. Yeah, it adjusted to the green.
Yes.
So now we have a beautiful filter.
Good job, pig. That'll do, pig. That'll do.
I think that's Jay. Hey, Jay. Thanks for joining
Hello.
us.
Is that you on both platforms? We thank you for supporting.
Hey, Andre. Thanks for joining us.
Are you actually right beside each other?
Andre's asking anong name ng piggy. Oh my gosh. I have not decided. I am leaning very heavily towards one name, but I don't like the fact it's too long.
It is a concern if it's too long.
I think I just like the pun.
You just like saying it.
Mm-mm.
but it makes the name like a chant.
Mm-mm. Itchy news.
All
Yeah, but
right, I guess we'll run the introduction and then we'll get things started. So do hang on a bit. We'll be. His arms are perfect. They really are.
it's very Yoshi.
It really is. Okay, we'll be right back. Wow. Okay, wait. None of my buttons are clicking.
Oh no! Oh no!
Wow. Okay. I guess we won't go. Wait. Uh,
Maybe we can't end the show.
it's possible because. All
Okay,
right.
maybe it was working, but we just clicked too many things.
No, or just super delayed. Okay, we try one more time. Just stay there.
Oh yeah! Really great!
This is Toby.
And we're having connection issues. This is Rocky.
And if it's your first time here, welcome to Baduy Parade, a little space on the internet where we talk about anything we want.
Completely unscripted, not entirely accurate, but at least it's honest. Join us. We talk about everything and anything random live.
And if it's not your first time here, thank you so much for joining us again. This is our 302nd episode, the second to the last episode for the year. And we're talking about our favorite games for this year. Not necessarily games released this year, but games we played this year.
To be fair, we do have a couple of games released this year that we did get to play, but not very often.
But we also have a bunch of games released this year that we haven't played.
Totally like even random things like I think all the recent uh, the farming versions of Sprolopolis, Agropolis.
Mm,
So all of those are like
mm.
2021
I
releases.
think there's a legendary we haven't explored yet. A Marvel legendary that we haven't explored.
No, I think we played all
Did
of
we get to
them.
play the Marvel one? See, I think did we? Yeah. I think we did all.
We
Okay,
did. Okay. Anyway, so
but yeah,
um
we're not limiting ourselves to tabletop. We're talking about computer games. We're talking about role playing games. We're talking about story games. We're talking about board games, card games, social deduction games.
wow, how controversial that
Because
story games are there.
I officially respect that there are differences. Do you think a social deduction game is a board game?
Yes. But then again, I'm also the person who feels bad that the Ravensburg puzzle riddle games are not board games.
Because officially,
They're puzzles with a
that
riddle.
old game we're in, you're like looking at each other and then I'm dead. That's a social deduction game. That's like one of the first social
But you
deduction
can't
games.
generalize all social deduction games are like that. So if you're just gonna ask me in a vague manner, would I consider social deduction games to be games? Then yes, I would say yes.
Oddly, I do not see the live chat. It's well and alive in
It's on YouTube. They're all on
YouTube. Yeah,
YouTube.
but normally I see it here as well for some reason.
There's no one on Facebook.
Okay,
At least
so
no messages yet on Facebook. They're all on YouTube. So
so
hello.
yes, hello Kenny, Andre, Jay. Name of the piggy, nothing final yet. We're leaning towards we've called all our pigs big, to some extent or some degree whatsoever.
Brilliant naming strategy.
So Mato Mato pig is like on the front of the line.
See, Toby just likes saying. So go say it again. I don't know if that's going to stick, but we'll see.
I know it probably won't because it's too long. Then it starts becoming Mato, which then becomes Jovan's cat, si Mako, and then it'll be all confusing. So
Although Mako is in itself short kasi for Makoro
I know. See, that's the thing. But yeah, so awesome pig. Thanks, mom. Thanks, Tracy. Super love it, and really has Yoshi stare.
with the no the kind of
Yeah,
ear.
the ears.
It's funny. Okay, so
Where do you want to start?
it's true. Okay, wait. I have I have a filter set up on my phone.
I also have the table of the stuff we featured this year.
Featured this year.
Not
Let's
because it's not necessarily the stuff we got that were released this year, but it's still a good list to use as because we tend to try to play things we'll feature, right?
That's true.
So, yeah. While you're searching,
Look
I'll.
here. So in terms of games released in 2021, so
Mhm.
the our list of 2021 board games that we have purchased and not necessarily played includes 51st State Master Set Moloch, the Moloch
Mhm.
expansion,
Mhm.
Agropolis Invasion, Agropolis Points of Interest.
Mhm.
Oh, did we play Agropolis? I think I remember the UFO. We did. We
Yes.
played Agropolis. Okay. Burgle Brothers 2, Casino Capers. We haven't played that
Mhm.
one. Combopolis. We
Not it.
technically haven't played this.
Yeah.
Dinosaur Island Roar and Write, we've tried. Dinosaur World, we've tried. The Recruiter promo card is around. Disney Villainous Despicable Plots was
Mhm.
also this year. Dune House Secrets arrived late, haven't tried it.
Mhm.
$1 Million Script arrived, party game, have not tried it.
Mhm.
Mind Management,
Mhm.
that we've tried. Neuroshima Hex Beasts, not yet. Neuroshima Hex Moloch the Beginning, not yet.
Mhm.
Suspects, not yet. Terraforming Mars Big Box, not really a game, but then we have it. And then the Terraforming Mars Big Box promo pack, which we have tried some of the cards, but not a lot.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's like stuff we own from 2021. Of this list, what stands out? Anything you want to talk
So
about?
let's go through the list and focus on the ones we enjoyed.
Okay.
I'll have to cite mind management. Oh my god, mind management. The the depth of content beyond just the game.
We're going to be digging through that game a lot. And then there is that partial struggle of I kind of want to play it with other people
Yes.
because then we can share the discovery moments together. As I mean, it's fun to just me and Toby to play it, but then by
Mm.
the time that we get other people to the table, then it's like, yeah, guys, welcome to mind management. Also, here's like 20 things we found.
Because admittedly, there are board games that are meant for solo play,
Yes,
such as Marquee. There are board games that work for two players and are intended for two players, such as Patchwork and what was that? Pagoda. Remember we played Pagoda?
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
But then when you have board games that are not meant for two, it's really much more fun when it's a social activity.
And the amount of stuff to discover in mind
Mm.
management, both in terms of gameplay and in terms of design and
Mm.
hidden elements, is fantastic.
It's a shift package system, which is their a way of approaching a legacy system,
And
which
also
adds new mechanics and systems as you play. But
both legacy and also just to keep the game varied
mhm,
for different experience levels.
yes, and then beyond that, and this is slightly spoilery, hidden in your box are expansions you did not realize you have.
Yes, we've discovered a couple of, I guess, in other games you would consider them to be promo cards,
Mm,
but this case they're hidden in code and
mm,
whatnot throughout the game.
mm-mm.
And I love this experience. There's a website you have to go to, all that stuff.
So
It's
so
good
it's such
stuff.
an experience, and in as much as we're like cheerfully enjoying it,
We have not opened any of the shift
it's
boxes.
very different to have a group with you when it happens. In many ways, that's why we enjoyed Seafall so much. It
Yes,
wasn't that Seafall was so
an amazing
perfectly well
game.
done, but it made that table moment so fun. We're in. I know something. Like what? I'm not supposed to tell you
Or it's even
guys.
like, I guess
Remember?
for you, you have the unique perspective of having played Pandemic Legacy Season 1 twice,
Mm,
right? You played it with the office and you played it with
yes.
our group, and
Yes.
then it was a different experience in both
And
cases.
for those who played it that month, that month when that thing twice. Yeah. It doesn't do that. But yeah, mind management, amazing, amazing game. And this is despite me not being a fan of hidden movement games.
Yeah, like it wasn't like okay.
Because we played.
We gotta talk about this for a moment.
We
It's funny.
played Nuns in the Run.
We both don't super like hidden movement.
Yeah.
Nuns on the Run, not so great. And then we
There's
got Treasure Island,
yes.
which okay, that's fun.
We enjoy it because you're searching by drawing stuff.
Yes,
But
it's not necessarily hidden movement per se.
Yeah.
All throughout.
because the person ain't moving.
Yes, the treasure isn't
Yeah.
moving, but later Blackbeard will be.
Yeah.
Ah,
And then other hidden movement games.
Jaws.
Jaws we enjoy, but also because it's not just hidden movement. You have these little goals you're trying to
Because
do,
it's Jaws.
and you're gobbling people up. And sometimes you don't mind getting caught if it means eating a lot of people.
Mm-mm.
But then we have games like the Bioterrorist and Pandemic, which we
Oh.
never really explored.
And it's not
Because we're
something
not-
we're excited
Yeah,
to
we don't
play.
feel like doing it.
So yeah. So
Kenny shares siblings are starting to get into card games and tabletop games.
that's great. Do encourage this. It will push things along. Oh, and then that's funny on a related note, although not necessarily. I mean, like my family has always been big on games around Christmas,
Mm.
but then sometimes it's like we'll play mahjong, we'll play poker and stuff. But then for like this year, we got them into Jackbox party games, and then now we spent like 3 straight days playing party games since the holidays. So
Mhm.
you know, don't sell your family short. You don't know what they're going to enjoy getting into. Okay,
Another game that we really enjoyed
Okay.
was the Dinosaur Island Roar and Ride.
okay. As much as and it came out as a sort of a semi bundle because it was part of the same Kickstarter as Dinosaur World.
Yes.
But Roar and Write, as far as roll and write games go,
This one.
so much fun. I didn't realize I'd have this much fun making a park as a
Mhm.
roll and write experience. And I definitely like it more than Dinosaur
It
World.
sort of combined what we enjoyed from Railroad Inc., despite not wanting to buy that game,
Mm.
and
Imperial Settlers,
Roll and
roll
Ride,
and write,
which
is-
had you drawing specific shapes and trying to find a way to maximize those shapes.
Yeah. So the roar and write, it's oh my god. So we haven't done a full video on it. We will. But definitely a surprise.
Mm.
And it was the add-on. The main Kickstarter was Dinosaur World, which I was more excited for because tile laying games.
But surprisingly, I think, and
it
you can
wasn't
correct
as
me.
elegant.
Yeah, I think we still like Dinosaur Island.
Dinosaur
more.
Island more. Yeah,
It's
definitely.
odd. It's odd. And
I dare say I still like Dualosaur more than Dinosaur
I'm
World.
hoping we didn't like it as much because it was just us. Maybe it shines more with more
Maybe
people.
a lot of games we feel that way, like oh
Because there are games wherein if it's 2 players only, but it's not designed for two, it doesn't feel fun because it always feels like someone's ahead.
plus the way Toby and I play, we will signal is working, but the way are we back? Are we okay? Please let us know if we're okay. But oh no, it got worse.
Yeah,
That's
we'll keep going and hope it's okay because people aren't commenting anyway
Sync-
that they lost signal. But there's
Sync
normally a 12-second delay before
Sync
they start
clap.
reacting.
clap with us.
I
I
love
saw the
this
thing.
thing.
Okay. It seems stable now. Thank you for nothing, PLDT. You've been screwy since yesterday.
But yeah,
But I get that, and because what's this? Whether we like it or not, we telegraph one another's moves. We
Mm.
have a natural feel for how the other
Mm.
person plays.
and the game didn't use how do we put it? You know, like how in other games there's a dummy player that sort of
Yeah.
messes up both players.
House Hagal.
Yes. And okay, we have to jump now to that then. Dune Imperium.
Dune Imperium is a
Such
star of
a
the year.
good
I
game.
think, and I know it came out last year technically, but we got our copy
Mhm.
this year, and
We've been
it's
playing
so
it.
good.
We played it physically. We played it digitally. So good.
I'm so excited for House of X, the
Yes.
the first expansion.
we had to pre-order that elsewhere because locally most of the local stores weren't certain if they would have it.
Plus,
Now
there's an
they- now they
upgrade
pre-order.
pack, which addresses my main quote unquote complaint of the game that when you stare at the game, you can't immediately tell it's Dune.
Mm.
Um, Dune Imperium. And just for the record, like I'm looking at Board Game Geek. We played it at least 8 times this year,
Mm-hmm.
both physically and not. So that's still a fair amount considering all the different games we played.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I should bring out the physical copy more, but admittedly, because we more focused on trying to play, because was this when you play two players, there's a third player, which is House Hagel. It's an automata player, which is okay, but like when we play with Urim,
Mm.
oh man, the game escalates to this whole other level. So
And you're suddenly really now struggling because everyone's blocking each other's moves.
yeah, so it really makes a difference to have more human players. We've yet to play it with a full table of
Mm.
four. I can't imagine that's gonna be super tight.
Mm.
So Dune Imperium was great. I was worried. I mean, we got it because Dune. Okay, it's one of those things like, oh, it's a Dune game. Okay, sure, I'll get a Dune game. I was worried that it was going to be more because it's the people who did Clank. And
Mm.
then like, is that it? We're just gonna get a deck building thingamabob and we're just gonna do Clank. But it was so much more than that, and I'm so
Yes.
happy for Dune Imperium.
And it actually had a lot of theme in its mechanics.
Yes, and that's why I'm super excited for X because it now is stretching beyond the movie, and it looks like I mean, from what I read of the previews, I think it has a nice effort to capture some of the other sides of things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, so there's that. Okay, I'll take a moment to talk about, although it's not a game in itself, but then the Terraforming Mars Big Box, which arrived this
Mm-hmm.
year. Beautiful, delicious, however you want to call it. It's such a good addition to the collection. I mean, for someone who loves Terraforming Mars, and then Terraforming Mars again, when you own the base game, it suffers from that nice game, but this is it because like components wise, not the best. I mean, like the art is kind of wonky. Uh, it was a connection. Oh no, PLDT, are we connected? Um, but yeah,
Wonky,
it was a
wonky.
little wonky, and then it was another of those classic board games that hey, you open the box, there's no insert. It's it's just like cards floating in ether.
Mm.
The big box addresses a lot of that, and it makes your Terraforming Mars set a more luxurious experience, so to speak. I know we did the unboxing as a Baduy Pride episode. That was fun. That was fun to do. And we have a couple of like unboxing efforts as Baduy Pride episodes. So that's cool.
Andre mentions misplaying Jackbox games with us. Urim's a great player when it comes to board games. That's true. Urim's cutthroat, and admittedly, that's one of the reasons why we love playing with him because he grasps games really quickly, and he catches you by surprise with the tactics he does. I mean,
Mhm.
Suburbia, he becomes the person to beat, not me. Especially once he's a homeowner association master.
I don't know. I'll still be able to beat Toby. But that's my job as his partner to always try to beat him. Okay.
Okay.
So,
Um.
very briefly, like, okay, looking at games we played the most this year, obviously, Exit the Game Advent Calendar.
Yes.
That was a delightful experience for this year.
Sadly, we can't show you the box.
Because
That would spoil
the way
things.
we have mangled that box is in itself a spoiler. I don't know how we're gonna do it. We should have a proper episode to talk about it, but we can't talk about it in detail. But as fans of the Exit puzzle
We don't want to
series,
spoil it.
we don't want to spoil it. We enjoyed the game a lot. As someone who has never had an advent calendar, I am glad that this was our first advent calendar together.
Thumbs up.
But interestingly, the game we played second most is Micro Macro Crime
Yes.
City, which I will admit we've played mainly online via Tabletop Simulator.
But we are getting the sequel game. We pre-ordered it, so we're hoping to get that soon.
Yeah, because it's hard to find, guys. Even the base,
Mm.
it got more of a European distribution, and then it was hard. It didn't quite make it over here. But if you like Where's Waldo and crime,
Mm.
then Micro Macro Crime City.
Then it has a great unfolding story and all that.
And there's like so many things you can look at, and there will be revelations about
Mm.
it. So totally recommend that one. Okay. Another game we played a lot of this year is The Crew.
The crew is cool.
The Crew is nice as a two-player experience. I mean, it's meant for
The
more,
crew
but we've been playing it
nicely.
as a two-player
The
experience.
crew nicely combined um, the set collection challenges of games like Pandemic, where you're
Mm.
trying to have one player get certain cards, with the telepathic challenges of the mind.
And the random challenges of Craig Martha. No, I don't know, but it's like random obstacles.
Mhm.
Like now we can't talk, and now we can only play one card, and all these things. It's a very good game. We haven't finished exploring like
Mm-hmm.
the story, quote unquote,
And then
ourselves.
supposedly the sequel, which was the crew,
The undersea one,
yeah,
yeah.
is even better, but we haven't gotten into that.
Okay. Um, Funnily, of course, a lot of the games that we played a lot of this year include Terraforming Mars and Prelude because those are the only expansions on the
Mm-hmm.
official app. Lords of Waterdeep has gotten steady play through us
Mm-hmm.
throughout this pandemic. Thank you for the
Wingspan,
game. Oh, Wingspan.
Viticulture.
Wingspan is a game we don't own a physical. Together with Viticulture, are games we don't own physical copies of, but we own the
Mm-hmm.
official apps, and we've been playing them a lot online. They're both pretty good experiences. Although I am excited for Viticulture's UI upgrade.
The
Um,
upcoming UI upgrade to the app.
yeah. Um, and then oh yeah, we did get play a fair amount of star stops. Okay, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, other online stars, Carcassonne is still around. We got to play
Mm-hmm.
Carcassonne a fair amount of times.
Concordia's the rising star now that it's,
Now that the app is like out, and
and
then
then
the expansions are starting.
it released two maps for free. So grab those if you have the app. Salsa should be coming out early next year.
Toby's a beta tester. That's why he gets to say salsa is coming out. He's already been playing.
Hey, I was proud to be among the vocal ones who recommended it should break down your scores in the end, and now they have it.
Sure. Okay. And I think for both of us, we mentioned it briefly, but Imperial Settlers Roll and Write is getting a lot of play because of
Mm.
the app.
Yes.
It's a solo experience as an app,
Mm.
but as a mobile app, oh, it's so convenient.
The best way to view it is their puzzle games.
Yes.
And
Yes.
and by figuring out how to maximize a puzzle, you can score from 70 to 80 points.
I haven't
Initial
gotten there. I can only
attempts,
score about 40.
I'm averaging 60, 70.
You're terrible. See, and then it becomes horrible to play against him when we play the actual game, the physical game. Then it's gonna be brutal.
Well, it's a piggy shop.
Okay. Um. Oh yeah, this was the year of like we played a fair amount of Neuroshima Hex.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy for Neuroshima Hex.
We should play that more. And I feel it's again one of those two-player games.
Yeah.
So you could feel how it really works well. And then there's supposed to be an expansion for more, which I don't know how that'll feel,
Mm-mm.
but we'll find out.
This year we also played a lot of what's this? So online we played a lot of Steam Up. Again, because there was a Kickstarter preview on Tabletop
Mm.
Simulator. Quaint, very cute game. Very
Not
cute
enough
game.
to make us buy it.
Not enough to make us back for like deluxe
Yeah.
Kickstarter editions. We might go for it at retail rate or secondary market rate.
Mm.
I don't know yet. But it's cute, super cute.
We
Paleo.
So in terms of
Oh.
exit,
Oh,
advent calendars are winner of
yes.
all the exits we've played recently. In terms of unlock, did you like the Star Wars one more or the other one, the three-pack other one, which had the dragons and the Wuxia one?
Okay, we say okay. I think
Because of the dragons in the movie one, and then there's the Wuxia one with the
the Star
pulpy one.
Wars. The Star Wars one is like a solid Star Wars puzzle experience.
Mhm.
I love it for that. And then it already feels almost apples to oranges because the way they wove narrative around that game um, was definitely very fulfilling.
Mm.
But I must be also the first to admit that Unlock's work this year
Has
has
gotten so
been
much
really
better.
great.
Yes.
I think what's the one that's I think this is it. The one we finished was Epic Adventures.
Mm.
Yeah, because it was the Secret Agents, the horror movie, and the Wuxia one.
Yeah.
That was a good set. That was a very good set. We have another one which we haven't quite finished through, but
And
there's
then our
that.
current Star Wars one is on loan.
Yeah, because we've already finished our Star Wars Unlock, and so we've lent it out. So it should come back though. Okay. Even though like we played it, like I still I don't wanna not have a
I
copy of
am
that.
wondering if we can play some of them again now that we're starting to forget how we solved some
We
of
could
them.
probably go back to like the first ones. Oh my gosh, the solo boxes. The first time you do a
The no
no
side
side.
ones.
The no side ones. Okay, okay. Um,
Okay,
um,
we have to mention Maki. It's hidden. I can't pull it out.
uh,
But yeah, that's been quite an
you can talk about
experience.
Maki. Yeah, you've
It's
been the
a
one playing it.
solitary game. It reminds me of this old app called Spy Master, wherein you move around locations to fulfill missions. Um, but for a solo game, it's quite interesting. I hope it gains steam and gets a bigger version of the game.
This is also the year that we played New York Zoo.
Mm,
New York Zoo. Ah,
yeah, that was elegant.
a beautiful, surprising Yui Rosenberg game. Um, and instead of farm animals, it's zoo animals, which is shocking difference for Yui.
Hmm.
Didn't no vegetables in sight in the entire game, but so good, so good. We've played it at least 5 times, at least one of them online, trying to play a tabletop simulator version.
Mm, yeah.
Which this is definitely one of those games that doesn't translate well because it is a beautiful tactile experience. You buy it for the many meeples. I don't want to. I don't want to shoot myself in the foot or anything, but I will admit,
Hey,
like
Mitch.
I'm definitely with this, but in our last game, I felt like everything smooth as butter. I had an engine super going. I've developed a good feel for the rhythm of that game, and so I'm really
Yeah,
enjoying it.
which we will eventually test when we play this one. Break Colt.
Yes,
Um,
which I think has vegetables.
Paleo.
Paleo, paleo, paleo. Like I wasn't sure how to feel about it when I watched the Shut Up and Sit Down review of
Mhm.
Paleo because it sounded like a mixed bag.
It's
There was
not
a
it's not really deck building, although there is a level of deck building to it because you do add cards by doing certain
yeah.
actions. It's a group survival thing similar to Robinson Crusoe. But it has a weird teamwork mechanic. Then it has secrets you unfold. But I think, as we mentioned in that previous episode, its biggest flaw is how setup can spoil you,
Yeah,
and that's really the problem with that.
and then how to some, which is the shut up and sit down argument, is that they feel like a lot of the value of the game is from that initial discovery and
Mm.
being surprised. But I still think it's a pretty good experience. I mean, we had to play through some of the missions more than once just to kind of get through it, and it
Mm.
still provides a good challenge whether or not you see things for the first time anymore. Plus, there are cards that even though they look similar, you never know what you're gonna turn
Yeah.
over sometimes. So I think it's a good amount of replay.
No name finalized yet, Mitch.
Yeah, we're trying to figure out name to pick. Okay. Okay. Okay, there are a lot of games though that we played like just once because we've been testing a lot of different games. Oh, okay. We did play the river this year. We did a review of it. It's quite cute. It's a
Mm-mm.
cute, quick game. We played a bit more of Mystery House. Mystery House is
Still hurts the head to play it.
cute but difficult. Yeah, not the
Although
best
we ordered the
experience.
expansion to see if it gets better. 50 clues. We're hoping to see how far that will develop.
Yeah, I think this initial effort was like really good. It was pretty good, disturbing, but not bad at all. It has potential, that series, and it's always only gonna get logged once, as because you play each one once.
Mhm.
Um, Brass Birmingham.
That one I want to experience with more players.
Yeah. I mean, like we heard so many good things about Brass Birmingham because it's been highly ranked on Board Game Geek for a while. We finally got a copy this year. Finally got to play it, and I think it was really after that first game because you're like, oh wow, okay, I
That
get
was
it,
pretty good.
I get it. I want to fight Urim,
Mm,
and I want to fight Urim in these kind of games.
that's true.
Okay, um, we tried Escape Plan this year.
Hmm.
That was quaint.
Firefly, the game was really fun
Firefly is definitely one of those games that it's hard for us to recommend to people. I think.
because
I
if
mean,
you're not that much of a brown coat, you won't really
yeah,
appreciate it.
we if you're not that much of a fan of the show,
Well, that's the thing. They don't know the term brown
I'm
coat.
just being clear for the general audience. But we very much enjoyed it. It's a very
Mhm.
very fun franchise
But
game.
I'd still choose Fortune and Glory over Firefly.
Yes,
In
and
the
then
sense of they're both being long games based
but
on
in
like
terms of franchise games, I think Firefly still did a better job than the Expanse board game.
yes, that's true.
Things like that. Okay. Um, Jaws. What else did we play?
Yeah.
Still a lot of legends. I'm just looking at other things. Lost Ruins of Arnak. We've only
Mm.
played it once.
Enjoyable,
Interesting. Interesting.
interesting. Definitely shows a lot of potential. Um, we're we're still getting the hang of how it all wraps around your head because it's kind of weird
Mm.
given how fast it plays.
Oh, Lost Legacy. We got to try Lost
Mm.
Legacy. Cute trick taking game. Not quite love letter, but same DNA.
And then different expansions for different feels.
Yeah. And see things like New Bedford. New Bedford that we need to explore more. I didn't think whaling would be fun.
Mm.
I'm sorry, we're essentially listing almost everything we played this year. But there are a lot of fun stuff. Um, and then we already talked about Talisman Kingdom Hearts.
Hmm.
That was like, wow, you saved Talisman. A friend of ours gave us a copy of Tesla versus Edison Duel. That turned
Mm.
out to be quite a cute
Yeah, that was nice.
two-player game.
And then Detective, we didn't necessarily play it just this year, but
This year we finished LA
yeah,
Crimes.
and it was nice to get through those stories and
Mm.
see how they all connect.
So I think things I wish to play more definitely are things like Wavelength. So Wavelength is really cute.
Mhm.
We it's been sitting. We've played it only a handful of times because it is a party game
Yeah.
that needs more players, and so we haven't been able to play it more. Um, my God, Mitch, we haven't touched our Vienna connection. We haven't touched
Yeah,
House Secrets.
we haven't touched Pandemic Season 0.
Oh yeah, which we have.
We haven't
We haven't finished our season 2 because
um
that was an ongoing campaign before the
Escape
pandemic.
Plan was not bad.
Escape Plan was okay.
Not as good as Gallerist or Kanban,
Yeah.
but it was not bad.
And we still have to explore Venus.
Yeah.
And then
Vinos.
Vinya. And
I
then
think that's how
okay,
you say
and
it.
then the franchise that we have games of, but then like it hasn't quite redeemed itself is Undo this year. It's like we're still rooting for you. You
Hmm.
have an idea.
And then we've purchased but haven't gotten into playing Dexcape and
The
what's other one?
Ravensburg puzzle games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So among the new ones that we're anticipating playing and reviewing next year include Consumption, Suspects,
I feel like this year is not gonna end until we play Consumption.
The Initiative, Black Fleet, Discover.
Oh my God, Mitch is like, what's the game with bad coloring you reviewed it?
Gloomhaven. Oh, the bad coloring one.
Was that Treasure Island also? I know we complained about Treasure Island.
Treasure Island had bad
Contrast.
contrast. That one was a game that had pastel colors for the player colors.
But I think that's also admittedly one of the dinosaur games.
Yeah.
I think the Dinosaur World super pastel things.
Mm-mm.
Um, so a bit of a challenge there. And then yeah, this is the year of like rounding out some of our rounding out some of our um Portal Games collection because now we like have Cry Havoc and the expansion arrived this year. Toby found Angry Ocean for Rattle Battle Grab the Loot. I'm so happy. I was looking at it again today.
With red non-readable, parang exit siya.
The crypto? No.
The one with the box.
Mitch! Mitch, nahawa ka kay Toby. The game with the box. I think it might be the crypto. But we didn't talk about the crypto this year. Okay. Okay. But yeah, so I think that's like on the board game front. We obviously still have a bunch of games we haven't gotten to try yet. There are like legacy game. All of our legacy games are waiting for all of our legacy games are waiting for
Co-players.
in-person play the game. Like friends gave us a copy of Machikoro Legacy in 2019. It is unopened.
Yeah.
Toby found us a copy of Risk Legacy, the legacy that began it all. We haven't started it either. The pandemics, we have to either finish stuff. Our Seafall campaign is forever in hiatus.
Then Gloomhaven.
We have Gloomhaven now. Yeah, well, not the main Gloomhaven. We have
Jaws of
the
the Lion.
Jaws of the Lion one. And then yeah, like I said, House Secrets, Vienna Connection, and the like. So things to consider. Okay. Ooh, Mitch offers herself as tribute. Okay. Let's talk about tabletop RPGs.
So tabletop, we'll have to start with Knights Black Agents. We started the campaign early this year,
Yes, the Dracula
and
dossier.
oh my god, that game keeps on giving. Such a well designed system, such a well designed setting. Um, the material itself is so well done that even if you've played the campaign, you can still run or play in it again, and it will still be different because there's all these options to be used every
As
time.
a player, you're talking to someone who took the time to encode the footnotes on the annotated Dracula manuscript
Mhm.
just to make it searchable. And I've cross-referenced and I have notes. And
The,
then we
the
could,
premise of the game being you are all intelligence officers who learn that vampires are real, that something called the Dracula dossier is going around the world, and it might be part of a bigger intelligence organization.
yeah. So that game is still ongoing. We play it like twice a month
Mhm.
now, but I'm super happy with that game. Definitely happy with the game.
There was, of course, Fairview by Jim Pinto.
So we started Fairview this year. It's been very intriguing.
A very different system. You take damage by causing trouble in the town.
Yeah.
Sorry, when you take damage, the town gets worse. That's
Okay.
what's affected.
I was just suddenly thinking about like in person though, it is a game of potentially limited dice satisfaction, as I like to call it,
Mm.
because your rolling numbers may be low because like on
Yes.
average you're probably just rolling two dice. And so that, and when I say dice satisfaction, I like that feeling of you can get more dice to roll, and the more dice you roll, the better things can get.
Which is why even Knights Black Agents can be frustrating at times.
But I realize the great equalizer now is that since we're playing online, I'm sorry, the number of keystrokes to roll 10 dice and one die is about the same. Since I'm typing out command, roll, 1d6 plus
So it kind of
modifier,
balances out.
and then label. So yeah, so I don't feel my dice frustration as much as I used
Oh
to.
my God, Mitch! Parang Twilight, but much better.
That
Sana man
is
lang,
that is a very low
sana man
barrier.
lang parang Underworld or parang Okay, jumping through the others in the list, Thirsty Sword Lesbians was fun, although you weren't
I
able to
wasn't in
play
that
that one.
game.
It
Yeah.
was a Powered by Apocalypse game wherein you have moves that had to do with your archetypes, which is standard for Powered by the Apocalypse. But it was one of those games wherein your emotions greatly affected your drama.
Mm.
So it was perfect for games like Shira, Steven Universe, wherein while you're fighting, it's because I love you and that's why I have to beat you, and
Okay.
it's well done. Brindlewood Bay was a good
Okay,
one
you
too,
really enjoyed Brindlewood Bay, I feel.
because you had grandma
It was
solving mysteries.
Golden Girls being detectives, essentially.
Murder She Wrote meets Cthulhu.
Yeah. So and I got to and so much so that Toby ran this as two separate one shots. Although because the second one shot was an emergency game because
Yes.
our game got canceled.
Yes.
That was fun. That was quite fun.
We haven't tried yet the other version of the same rule set, which is the in between,
Mm.
which is closer to Penny Dreadfuls,
Mm-mm.
wherein you are all special characters also solving a conspiracy. The difference there, instead of being grandmothers, you're being special characters. The rule there is you're not allowed to talk about your player's backstory, your character's backstory.
What do you mean?
So you're a vampire. How did you become a vampire? You will not answer.
Okay.
Because the only times you answer those questions are the Maven move type of move.
Ah, okay.
So, like in Brindlewood Bay, where you wear the crown and you now answer who was your sister or how did your parents or this and that.
Sorry.
And in the in between, it's the similar case of you failed the roll, you're gonna die. Wait, I'll now reveal how I became what I am, or I'll now reveal who I first killed. So it has that nice revelation factor.
Mm.
We had the Expanse.
Okay. I haven't run a game in many years, and I finally ran one this year with the Expanse and the Expanse RPG,
Mhm.
and that was very stressful but quite fun. I naturally thought of a million ways I could have run the session better, but
Mhm.
I think on the whole it was a good session.
What do you think, Matamato? Thumbs up. Double thumbs up.
So annoying. Okay. But yeah, that was fun. And then hopefully we revisit the game
Mm-hmm.
next year, whether or not I'm still running it.
Mm-hmm. Beyond that, it was a lot of old systems we explored. In
We are
terms,
still playing Pendragon.
we're happily
We are
still playing
still
Pentagon.
playing Pendragon,
Very
guys.
happy to have introduced it to a few new players.
I saw yeah, a friend ran her own
Mm-hmm.
Pendragon game for the first time.
And then, of course, I think someone from that company then retweeted it or something. So I'm like,
Oh,
oh. And then similarly, Brindlewood Bay. That's when another friend started running in between
mm.
because he enjoyed Brindlewood Bay so much. Um, but yeah, we wrapped up our Vampire Fifth Edition campaign.
Bittersweet, man. Bittersweet. That was a good game. That was a good
Yeah,
game.
and for that group, we're looking at possibly starting Scum and Villainry next year, which is going to be our Firefly-esque type of
Mm.
heist in space game. I'm not sure though. I'm still uncertain.
Yeah, I mean, give it a thought. And we still also have to check with them like once you like have
Yeah.
more of a story pitch. We haven't talked about it. We after we finished Vampire took a break, and then because the holidays are here. The holidays are not a time to start a game, even if you're just playing online.
Because, like, who knows? We might shift to superheroes, or maybe we'll go full Cold Shadows. It's, non supernatural spies. Stuff like it.
Maybe. So other stuff, I guess, so like similar to board games, other stuff you're looking forward to for next year on the RPG front.
So, Death Stranding's latest edition came out. I haven't considered buying it yet.
We're talking about computer games now.
Wilder Myth is super fun.
Toby's been playing a lot of Wildermyth. I don't have a copy yet. It's in my wish list. Hey.
It has preset main story arcs, but when you play it, it procedurally generates how that story arc will unfold.
Mm.
You go through a set of characters who can be hunters, fighters, or mystics. But then during the stories that form and decisions you make, depending if your characters are rivals, friends, or romantically connected, and yes, it allows gay romances,
Mm.
you unlock new story arcs. So, like, I have a character who is now completely skeletal with raven wings, and she didn't start out that way. I had another character who made a deal with this tortoise spirit. So when she finally died, the spirit came back and said, "That was your life. Are you ready now to walk the eternal?" And she was like, "But what about my friends? They'll have a life too." And it's like great writing for something that's procedural. So I highly recommend it.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like this year, this is the year I finally played 2 Point Hospital,
Mm-hmm.
which is good. Which is good. It's nicely scratches your theme hospital itch if
Mm-hmm.
you're looking for it. On a side note, I backed this Kickstarter called Dice Hospital and
Yeah,
Dice
we're
Theme
waiting for
Park.
that.
That I'm waiting for those to come out. And then this is the year also I kind of get back into Lego games on Steam anyway, and I played a lot of Lego Marvel Superheroes 2,
Mm-hmm.
and I haven't been playing as much because life, but I finished the main story and I'm just in unlocking mode, and I can see Nikki is also playing the game and is unlocking more things. I'm feeling the pressure. I'm feeling the pressure. I want to unlock more stuff.
Trinity Continuum has been releasing the books for
So many
Adventure,
things.
for Trinity, for Aberrant. So it's exciting to see it back. They have a new one coming up, Anima, which
Mm.
was their version of a virtual reality universe as a gameplay. So it's a gameplay setting. So it's sort of like Ready Player One slash um, Matrix, depending on how you look at it. Um, eager to get back into Lacuna now that it released their Read Once and
Oh,
Destroy
that was
book.
nice to play again. We did one Lacuna session.
Mhm.
That was fun.
But we haven't explored Read Once and
Yeah.
Destroy yet because that's an entire book of locations to explore. Um, what else? We're we're still waiting for certain things to arrive.
Well, today my copy of Night of the Mummy is here, which is like,
Mm.
yay, another fun party game. Also, it is a party game. We need people to play it in person. In terms of like Kickstarters, I'm waiting for, although I know not all of them are gonna come out next year, but like, furthest back in my list is I'm pretty sure that Namiji, which is
Mm.
the same people who did Takedo, that's like already in full production. So that's gonna get shipped out pretty soon.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Pasimasi's expansion, which is a collection of those cards. I know there's some delays in the delivery, so I'm hoping that'll arrive.
Castles of Mad King Ludwig is also close to final production. It was supposed to be out this December. Of course, it's not yet out. So I figure, yeah, it's gonna be next year. Root the Marauder expansion is coming out next year. Stellaris Infinite Legacy is coming out next year. Although I feel like Mind Management has spoiled me because this already feels like an amazing game that I can play and replay in the state. And I don't know, but Stellaris Infinite Legacy is a different take on a legacy game, which I now feel in hindsight similar to Mythwind,
Yeah.
in terms of what they're trying to do. Gloomier was is stuck in production hell, but it's because of all the global shipping and things. But that should be
Mm-hmm.
coming out.
Paperback Adventures, which was a game where you build words with letters, now given a pulp twist, is also slightly still delayed.
So Dice Theme Park is coming out next year, and then that'll allow me to get a copy of Dice Hospital, our copy of Canvas, the Canvas Reflections expansion, and our base game because we don't own it is coming out next year.
Mm-mm.
Um, Isle of Cats, don't forget the kittens is also supposed to come out next year, which will also be when we get a base copy of Isle of Cats. Hey, Mitch, and don't forget, you have an add-on that I bought for you for Canvas. Um, the Avatar Legends role playing game that's
Mm.
supposed to come out next year.
Mm.
Well, I hope it goes out on time.
If that does, we'll probably try running it as one of the tag bite sessions.
Yeah, Mythwind is estimated for December of next year, but I think the scope of that game it's not gonna make it to December. I won't mind if it doesn't because that game is very high concept. They
Mm-mm.
they need to make it work. And then our copy of Quetzal Amazing Cappadocia, the puzzle board game, is supposed to have been here by Christmas. I do not know where it is at the moment. It last seen leaving Frankfurt, Germany, even though it came from North America on its way to the Philippines. So I've sent my messages to both DHL and to Quetzal support to find out. Mitch is getting chai.
Mm.
Oh, I was tempted by that. It looked very pretty. And Andre said, yes, I know Jay brought the
Of
Avatar
course, of
tabletop
course.
RPG. We expected as much. If there were a Kingdom Hearts RPG, he would
I
also
can
have
only
it.
wonder what tier you chose for that
He
one.
probably got a higher tier
Because
than
it's
me.
tricky, right? There were all these different choices.
So many choices, and I know I backed still pretty high. Like, what did I do? What did I do? Of
Polar
course,
bear.
polar bear dog, whatever that means now. I don't remember what I backed. I didn't get I know I didn't get the notebooks because
Yeah.
like I don't need notebooks. They're very pretty, but it's gonna be those classic notebooks that are too pretty to use. Okay. Um Mobile games. Do you have any mobile games that you were like super playing this year?
No.
Which is funny,
Just
eh?
research.
Yeah, I
But I
noticed.
don't.
I noticed
Well,
your
it's
amount of play has. It's also because you have some battery frustrations
yeah.
this year. Um,
The iPad's been annoying. The new one should be coming.
Jay got flying bison. See, that sounds more impressive than my polar bear dog. Mitch playing Pokemon Unite. Oh, okay, good job. Now we're all wondering if Christian will accidentally fall into Genshin Impact if he's not careful. He's supposed to be supporting a family member as a gift, but Genshin
That's
is,
where it
is treacherous.
starts.
Yeah. I'm still playing a lot of Marvel Strike Force. Funnily enough, This is the year I also went through a lot of like I'll try different puzzle games. I did a Sudoku app. I did these falling tower geometric thing, which is still on my phone. All these things, but my main game, because I only have enough space in my brain for like one main app, is I've still been playing
Marvel.
Marvel Strike Force so much. But I think I've been very good this year, and I haven't spent anything on the game all year.
Mhm.
The only drama of this year is that my old alliance fell apart and I moved to a new alliance. And I'm so happy with this new one because we're all just let's play for fun. But we're kind of whales with very powerful teams, and then we win maybe 2 out of 3 wars we participate in. So I'm like, oh, this works out. Andre shared, yeah, as a Genshin Impact and Pokemon Unite player, yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, Mitch's dad plays Genshin Impact until 2 a.m. It's treacherous. My dad is playing Axie.
And
He is
Plants
invested.
versus Undead.
I don't know how much he's playing it. I think he's doubling down on Axie. And he's now all like, because there's talk that Axie is coming to Steam.
I don't know.
And if that happens, admittedly, just because of accessibility, I mean, it's already accessible globally, but when you go to Steam, it really makes you more noticeable. So I think the Axie community is kind of excited about that
It's
possibility.
tricky though, given how there's a huge negative pushback on any NFT games on, sorry to say this, but real games. There is that there is that movement happening wherein play to earn and players who play games are seen as distinct audiences. And
Mm.
Steam
It
supposedly
sounds
is
like
still,
RPG and story
yeah,
games.
yeah, yeah,
They're all
exactly.
games. Let people have fun, and if they make money at the same time, that's cool. If they make theoretical money concepts pointing to a room, that's cool
And then
too.
of course there's the ecological impact. There's the morality of it all. There's how some people see NFTs as nothing but much more elaborate, widespread
Mm.
pyramid scams. So it's a huge bowl.
Andre sharing, Jay wanted to try League of Legends, but he said that if you're getting frustrated with Pokemon Unite, then don't play League. I understand this feeling. I played the Blizzard version of
Mhm.
uh, a MOBA game. What was it called? I can't remember. Something Warriors of the Storm or whatever.
Mm.
It's okay. I do okay, but it's like not my gameplay. It's like it's very frustrating. Um, I don't know. And then like Steam games, I really want to make time for in the coming year. So I have a bunch of old adventure games that I still want to play through and just get those done. Nikki is playing Lego right now.
Mhm.
Okay. Most of my Steam time has been going to Jackbox games, which is understandable in this pandemic period. I just got a copy of Evil Genius 2
Mhm.
because it goes on sale, so I'm looking forward to this. I want to go. Oh, Oxygen Not Included. I played a lot this year. I want to go back to Oxygen Not Included, Planet Zoo, Two Point Hospital, Stellaris, if I have time. But admittedly, all these games require a lot of brain space, and I don't always have the brain
Then there's
space.
Good Night, created by a local team of
Oh
creators.
yes,
Um,
yes.
insane bullet hell challenges. I did not think I would reach the high score
Not my gameplay,
point
but
at
I
one point.
support you.
Um, been playing the forest because it's an open world survival thing, but I play it without the zombies. I kind of like the survival aspect more than the horror aspect. I don't like horror games when they don't balance out the darkness with agency.
Mm,
Because that was what Silent Hill was good at.
okay,
Even if it was
yes.
dark and scary, you kind of still
Except for rooms with mirrors.
knew where you can go and stuff. But for the forest, when it's night and you have a torch, you still only illuminate like your feet. So you feel like you're stumbling in the dark the whole time, which is, yes,
Mm.
realistic, but more frustrating than fun. Now, add to that, if you had zombies to fight, then it kind of turns into this annoying game.
So Andre asking Jackbox when? That's a good question. We haven't played in a while. I don't know. And then have we tried Take Two? Not yet.
Not yet.
And then I'm curious. I'm very curious about it.
Oh, well, we're also not sure if we can play it.
Yeah, kasi parang we need controllers or
Yeah, we have one controller, supposedly the PS4 controllers. PS3 controllers can be used.
But in our experiments, like even just playing Untitled Duck game, a goose game, it was a struggle. Some of the buttons weren't mapping right with the PS3 controller.
Mm.
So I should probably get another one. Or hey, I'm open to gifts. You can get us another controller.
Haven't gotten back into Subnautica,
Oh, but you played a lot of Subnautica
yeah,
this
for a
year.
while.
Yeah, yeah. Oxygen not included. I played a lot of Oxygen not included for a period. It was a dangerous. I recognize the danger of the game because like when I start playing, then I can't get out. Like I'll keep playing and like I'll just run one more cycle of this experiment that I want to make this machine, and then it's 2 a.m. It's like I have work tomorrow, but I just wanted to make my oxygen machine balance. So it's that kind of a game that I endlessly tinker with. It's a trap, man. But I got into that heavily in this year.
Mhm.
Oh, and then I really want to get back into Star Trek Online. I keep saying
Mm.
this. I keep saying this, but I do miss that Star Trek feel, and it gets a lot of good press. And because I've been participating more in Star Trek Twitter, if you know what I mean, it's such a happy community, and it's not just people who play Star Trek Online; it's just people talk about Star Trek. It really gets you in the vibe, and this has been a good year for. Well, it was a good year for Star Trek until Discovery's, broadcasting debacle happened. But it's been a good year generally, and so I'm in a very Trek mood. Plus, Star Trek has gotten me through this pandemic. I'm not even kidding. Um, very very important. Um, yeah, Andre, we'll try to schedule. Totally, totally, we can. I just a question. I don't know schedule because I was this. It's like even things like since we haven't been seeing you also on the show, we figured you guys are busy around this time, which is fine. Then you watch when you can, but
Mhm.
um, life is hard, and the pig doesn't have a name. And Toby likes to say he has thumbs.
Mhm.
And the thumbs up in itself is like a reference to our Ryotama game this year
Thumbs up.
because I played a healer and I decided to super campy JRPG it. And like every time I said things like, I'd end it with thumbs up
Mhm.
because I'm a healer from the town of blah blah blah. Thumbs up. And it's literally, and I can't believe it. I got through that whole campaign without fighting.
Mm-mm.
I never
You're
fought.
focused on healing
I
or
never
running
fought.
around.
I never fought. It was always, what do you do this turn? Who's the most damaged? And then I do heal.
Hence the so were you the Ryujin all this time? It kind of works, yes and no.
Yeah.
It's nice
Um,
open
and
ended
it was a
question.
conscious, it was a conscious decision. I wanted to be like, I'm going to be pure support. Like, I'm going to, and then like when I got a chance for a secondary class, I became a musician
So
so that
sing,
I could
sing,
do
buff,
buffs.
buff everyone, then heal.
So I essentially became X2. I was Yuna in X2, where all I do is buff as the singer and then heal people. It was delightful. That was such a good game.
And then things to look forward to next year. So for Tag Bites and other, I guess you could say one shots or group games we'll have. Definitely we'll explore Dune. We'll have to explore the Dune
The Dune
RPG.
RPG.
Um, we'll definitely find a way to touch on certain game systems. Um, I want to find a
Star Trek
chance.
Adventures.
Yeah, Star Trek Adventures is one, but I also want to do the unthinkable, which is run a session or two, or maybe a short campaign of um, what was that infamous one that sold its set for $300?
Legume?
No, no,
No.
no, 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 no. That Invisible Sun.
I'm so sorry.
Oh,
I'm
and that's the
not.
funny thing. Invisible Sun was like $300 for that huge RPG set, and the game was around the same price. But Invisible Sun was that supposedly groundbreaking RPG that allowed players to play even if players are missing and all this and that.
Okay.
I
Okay.
don't know if it was that
But
successful.
that's the same promise of Stellaris Infinite
Yeah,
Legacy with drop in, drop out play. And same thing with Mythwind as board games, not as
but
RPGs.
the art looks fantastic. It looks like something that Neil Gaiman would have released. So that's one. That's one of the things I'd like to explore. Um, it would always be nice to reconnect with World of Darkness.
Mm,
I
mm.
don't know. Maybe a continuum expand session would be great.
Continuum is like was this it's like we've had good times with a lot of the individual systems
Mm.
over the years, but then since this new Continuum reboot, we've yet to quite lock into like a campaign group for it. We tried, but then real life really got in the way with
Mm-mm.
our last Continuum effort. And then and admittedly, it was still okay, but then like I wasn't quite um
It doesn't.
enamored by the system.
Yeah, the original adventure system
Adventure is
still.
still it's like playing the base Trinity Continuum system just made me want to play adventure.
Yes, that's true.
With all due respect to Trinity Continuum, because I see a lot of they have a lot of good ideas.
Yeah,
They have a lot of good ideas. I like the
but
interconnected nature of the character
there was still the
creation.
elegance of the way adventure was mapped
Adventure,
out.
man. Adventure because there was nothing more awesome than me as a character, as a super spy type character, who my first action in combat is I throw away my gun
Mm-mm.
because I'm deadlier without a gun. But my gun was a Luger and I'd have to pick it up later because I was the German
And then
who didn't speak
everyone
German.
recommends we should try Lancer.
Yeah, that keeps coming up. That keeps coming up. But at the same time, I also have like my was this homebrew BattleTech game I found online based on Fate, which I kinda wanted to run as like a Pendragon style campaign
Mm.
game running through the history of the Innisphere, but it's a Fate game. And those of you who know, low dice satisfaction with Fate games because the more dice you add, sometimes it makes your rolls worse if you get minuses. So I don't know. I don't know. I did look into Lancer as a possible BattleTech alternative, and I
Mhm.
didn't. Parang it felt too baked to its own setting. Like I
Yeah.
didn't know how I was gonna adapt it fully. Although I could revisit it. Or maybe I need to play Lancer
Mm.
and then figure out how to battle tech it. Because it's just a question of designing the mechs as the system.
And it's meant to, it's meant to celebrate.
Oh my god, Andre's like, we tried Lancer, bring measuring
Yeah,
tape.
because it's meant to celebrate the old miniature war game
Uh,
style, which Mech Warrior and BattleTech.
which is precisely what I'm trying to
Yeah,
avoid.
but that was the point of how Lancer is designed. That there is measuring and there's distance and stuff.
Yeah, for those, to be totally transparent, because I'm looking for a more narrative way to play BattleTech without the miniatures. So I appreciate miniatures. I know we don't have the table space for it. And I don't have the patience for it. So I want a narrative system that is not just the BattleTech RPG, which lets you role play all the bits that happen outside of combat. But then for
Mm.
combat, it kind of points you back to the war game, which I understand why it makes sense to support its own franchise.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, and Andre shares it's strategic in build and how you construct your mecha in Lancer. So okay, but I mean, I'm still intrigued enough to try it, but um, I'm not the most tactical player, which is my main reason for like I haven't been rushing to get Wildermyth because as much as I like Final Fantasy tactics
Yeah.
and stuff, I tend to suck at these games. Like I overextend. I can never support fully. I lose characters. I get frustrated when
Yeah, I
when
get
people
those. I
die.
get those moments too.
It's like what was the Double Fine game? Broken Chalice.
Mm.
Tactical game. I love the concept. I love the story. I wasn't great at it. It's like super wasn't good at it. I felt bad. Like I lost half my people in the first three generations or something.
And there's that desire to do an alien,
Campaign.
yeah, not cinematic game, but a campaign game.
The Alien RPG is
Cause,
so
cause I
fun.
can just imagine a long term game with that system, and
Mm.
that realization that this isn't a cinematic movie, so I can't just die blazing. I have to find a way to get around things
And
and
to,
survive.
to, to translate a bit more, because Alien the RPG has two modes of play:
Mm.
cinematic for one shots, which means it's most likely you're gonna die.
Or maybe even switch characters during the session.
Yeah, and then there's the campaign mode where suddenly survival is more important. And I will admit as a player, it changes the way you play
Mm.
because in the cinematic mode, then you really kind of embrace the drama and
Mm.
like this is my moment of death
Mm.
because it fits the story. I don't know. We haven't tried campaign yet, so I
Yeah.
don't know how to wrap my head around it because the alien setting is so lethal.
and it sort of now suddenly makes you feel all the more how dangerous things can be.
Yes, yes, yes. It's like when people suddenly die in Pendragon, and then like, oh crap, do you have children to bring into the game or next of kin? I have been surprisingly long lived in Pendragon. I will admit, I've been very careful because I don't want to die.
I'm always tempted to jump back to the World of Darkness.
Always.
Um, there's always that there's always that desire to run a long campaign with the World of Darkness.
Mm-mm.
Giovanni has been
I knew you were
a
gonna say
joy,
Giovanni. Giovanni calls to you every few
but there's
years.
also the the Ventru Chronicles and the
Okay.
Transylvania Chronicles that have not yet really been explored. Transylvania we've explored it, but Ventru not yet. Because in Ventru you start out as your mob members
Mm.
under
Adventure and
under Capone.
oh, in Capone Adventure.
Yeah,
Oh.
remember because Capone is one of the children of Lodin.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh God.
And
Sorry,
then
wait. I'm not ready to go back to Chicago.
I know,
I'm not ready to go back to
but it
Chicago.
opens with that, and you're all vying to become embraced.
Mm. Wow, you start human.
Yes, that's
Oh.
kinda interesting.
Okay.
But then there's the idea of we've never really explored werewolf.
That is true. I have
We,
never played werewolf.
we've never tried the campaigns of mage,
Yes.
which is interesting also. Then there's all the other auxiliary games, Demon,
Even Mummy,
Mummy.
Why not, right?
Yeah,
Promethean.
yeah, Slasher.
Mm.
So there's even a hunter campaign would be interesting, wherein you're all
Mhm.
literally humans, some with or without certain special powers, and you're facing off against the monsters. So that's always there. Um, Exalted is forever also a um, what's the word? It's not a golden goose, but it's sort of like you want to, but it's so hard to get it to work
It's
right.
so, and we tried this new Exalted
We
system.
tried the third edition with Urim.
A little fiddly. Little
Yeah, it
fiddly.
still was more complicated than was comfortable.
And this is considering. I mean, there are few players I know who love Exalted more than Urim.
Mm.
But I even he would like we still tried
And
scrambled for some of the systems.
and this is despite the third edition already being smoother than the second edition.
Mm-mm.
The first edition is broken, but I think it's still the best one because if you're not playing to min max, it's World of Darkness rules. We're in. Oh, you're using this power, then it's attribute ability, make your roll, and oh, you're using that power, so you can roll 5 times. But that's where it gets crazy when people start min maxing things because it will be broken,
Mm-mm.
and I guess that's why all the other editions happen. So it's kind of tricky to run that unless you're with a group that's all matching that same mindset. There's of course the One Ring, which is the Lord of the Rings RPG.
Mm.
I wish I knew the world more to run that campaign.
You say that about Dune also in Star Wars,
Yeah.
Star Trek RPGs.
Mhm. But like the One Ring kasi has the Darkening of Mirkwood, which is their version of the Great Pendragon campaign. So I'm like tempted, but don't know if I'll be brave enough to do it. And then the last one siguro I'll mention for me would be since the Houses of Blooded second edition are still rumors, I will not talk about that. Call of Cthulhu. I'm tempted to try running a campaign, whether it's Masks of Nyarlathotep or
Mm.
um, maybe one of the settings, like it has a Wicked Berlin setting. So um, I haven't really checked out the book, but um, looking at the cover, I think it's Cold War flapper era. So it kind of is a setting we would like to explore.
Mm. Mm. That's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, that would be interesting to explore as a campaign.
Whew. So how about all of you? Like, let us know what games you super like this year? What games are you looking forward to
Mhm.
on any platform, any medium? Ha, Andre's like sign him up for COC, um, Cthulhu things. Again, dissatisfaction. but
It's percentile.
I didn't. It is hard to explain my frustration with percentile. I don't know because by right it's a lot to roll.
But it's just 2 days.
Yeah, and then I don't know because the way that it's structured. Okay, Mitch keeps saying Steam Up. You really like Steam Up. But the way it's structured, it's like, I don't know. And there's something about percentile games that I don't quite like. It's like the only thing I don't like more than percentile is probably rolling a d4
Because percentile makes things feel worse. I mean, you could like
because
say,
you're
oh,
it's this weird precise rolling
you
under.
need to roll with your 10-sided die an 8 or higher, and that sounds fine compared to, you have a 20% chance to do this.
Totally.
But it's
It's the same
it's the same
thing.
thing.
It's the
But
same
it just,
thing.
what? I have a 20% chance? But then if it's 8,
Maybe
skid.
yeah, maybe percentile makes it feel too real world, too mathy, too grades,
And then
too
the
work
the the
KPI.
double whammy is that the bonuses don't feel like they really help.
Yes.
And that's where Pendragon was
Yes.
awesome because it's +5 +10.
Yes, yes. Because Pendragon it scales very
It's
well.
not
When you
percentile,
are
it's D20.
impassioned,
Mm-mm.
you are passionate because that's a +10. And that's so good. And just always like, am I on a horse? Is he on a horse? +5.
Higher ground.
Higher ground, strategic advantage, strength in numbers.
Yeah.
All these things. Oh my god. Pendragon, the gift that keeps on giving.
So we're looking forward to tag bite sessions still happening.
Yeah,
Tag
and
bites being our official term for our
Toby's one
one
shots.
shots. Well, not just mine because you also run a tag bite already. So it's our one shots.
But I'm always scared
Currently, they're always scheduled for Saturday mornings
because Toby likes to cram in more gaming into the week.
because we also know most people have plans on Saturday.
Yes. And we also have plans.
But we have had tag bite sessions even before. We've had tag bite sessions on a Saturday. It's just that it's really harder to plan when once we have our usual gaming groups moving.
Yeah.
Because we have Pentagon, Knights Black Agents, um, Fairview. So those three are already
That's like
jump.
3 weekends in the month.
Yeah,
Ish.
and that's Saturdays, Sundays.
Plus
agawan na yan.
FGTC.
Yeah, and then FGTC, which is our board game group. So if we don't have it on a morning, it's tricky.
Yeah.
The other alternative is weekday nights on certain nights, but that's even trickier because it's really hard to commit to a schedule and expect people to be available
Yeah.
times the number
Like
of players.
our vampire game was a weekday game and we would check every Monday
Yeah,
for like,
and
can we really game this week?
that group still had a number of times we're in. What our last game was almost 2 months ago.
Yeah, we would like have maybe 2 to 3 sessions sunod every week and then gap. And then but it it ebbed and flowed with work. And that's the nature of anything done in the middle of the week. You're really enjoying the pig.
Mm-mm.
You keep making. I can hear you in your head making sounds.
Okay, I think that's our episode for tonight.
And that's the pig.
Thursday, we will be talking about more general geeky things that we enjoyed this year, from
Yeah.
shows to books to comics to stories
To movies we did not watch in the theater.
and activities. But yes, Team Up. Okay, I think we would have purchased Team Up if at the base level the pieces were already awesome.
Yeah, because the meeple, the tabletop simulator version, which has like the little animal meeples, this is all the deluxe edition.
Yeah.
Then like,
And then even the food pieces.
yeah. Even the otherwise it becomes all cardboard. Then like, I don't know if I wanted to deluxe edition this for a new game from a relatively new publisher.
And
So,
I think we just missed dim sum.
what more me? I can't eat dim sum because keto. I just watched Toby with his gyoza.
But yeah, that's our show for tonight. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope you'll join us again next time.
For questions or suggestions for future episodes, fill up the Google form at bit.ly Baduy Pride Ideas. to schedule game sessions, don't use the form. Message us directly. We got to figure that out. You can follow us on Twitter. All Toby No Shade, RG Suniko.
You can also check out our blog, baduypride.com, for all the previous episodes and stuff about us.
Feel free to continue the conversation in the comments below and let us know again what are your favorite games that you played in 2021 or maybe bought and continue to stare at lovingly. Yeah, we'd love to hear your stories. And be sure to subscribe for notifications, whether on Facebook or YouTube, so you don't miss our next live stream. Once again, I'm Rocky.
And I'm Toby.
And this is Baduy
Baduy
Pride. And we're not sure if this video is going to end. So wish us luck.
Baduy Pride. No.
No. And Mitch is always like, hello, ham. No, din eh. Green ham.